Hi guys, we are on what are we on? Day 3 of our Back on Track boot camp. So Monday we did, it was all about meal planning was day 1. Day 2 was all about shopping and a well-stocked kitchen. And today, day 3 is all about, I'm gonna put this in the holder right away. Day 3 is all about meal prep. So I drilled down on the things that are the most important for being able to eat clean and consistently eat clean. This time of year, we can be so motivated to eat better. But as soon as we get tired, maybe a week or two comes in, we start to lose that motivation, or maybe even a weekend and you come home from work or a busy day with the kids, you're just tired, you're hungry, and you just kind of give in. So I drilled down on the top 4 things to help you to continue with this healthy eating journey, to make it easier. And these are the things for myself that make a big difference. When I am, number 1, meal planning, spending a little bit of time meal planning. You don't have to spend hours. You can do this on your own. There's resources to help as well. Spend a little bit of time each week meal planning can really help. Number 2, making sure you've got the right ingredients for what you need. Making sure you have that on hand. Get rid of the junk. Don't have that accessible. So that was day 2. Day 3, a little bit of meal prep. So I'm not going to tell you guys today that you need to spend every Sunday afternoon spending 1, 2, or even like 3 hours in the kitchen, because if I advise you to do that, you might do that for a couple weeks, but then you're going to find like, wow, I don't want to spend my Sundays in the kitchen. I want to do other stuff, or I want to relax. That's my day to relax. So I'm going to show you, I'll give you a few different ideas depending on what works for you. You might find that you love spending some time on a Sunday. Maybe that's your time where you ask your husband to take the kids to do something. Maybe you put on a really good podcast or a movie or Netflix or something, and you're in the kitchen, and that's your time to get prepared for the week. So maybe that is what works for you. For myself and for a lot of people, I find just doing a little bit of prep on the weekend, maybe like half an hour at the most, and then doing a little bit during weekdays. So I'm gonna show you a couple different methods for meal prep. I'll show you exactly what I do now, what I used to do. So first of all, I'm just gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you my meal plan, because that's number 1. You need to have a plan. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you my prep guide. I think I can flip this around. Okay. So I'll also mention that with this Back on Track series, I decided to give our Mama Recharge membership meal plan, this week's plan, out to everybody. So that's what I'm going over right here. If you didn't get that plan yet, you don't have to. It's not the 14-day free trial for this week. I'm just giving this plan to you. It's going to be a PDF sent directly to your inbox. So go and grab that if you want the meal plan all done for you, if you want to just kind of have an idea of how I plan my meals, just to kind of get you going. So I'm just going to take you through that so that I can start talking about the prep that I'm going to do. So this is our week right now. We've already done a couple of the meals for this one. So this is a full plan. I also have, and if you want this plan sent to your inbox, there's also a supper and lunch only plan. So if you want to go back, if you haven't seen day number 1 with meal planning, sometimes I like to just plan out my suppers. For me, this is the most important thing. This is where I can get off track, is planning out my suppers is the most important thing. And usually that includes lunch leftovers. So this plan has that. Then here's the full plan. Sometimes a full plan, especially if you're doing it yourself, that can be overwhelming. So if you're doing your own plan, okay, I just got a phone call there. So if you're doing your own plan out the suppers, and then I would just say pick a few different snacks, maybe pick 1 or 2 different breakfasts that you're going to do. If you're planning it out like this on your own, that can get a little bit overwhelming. If you're in the membership, or if you want to try it out, I do all that for you. And then from there, you can sort of customize. I give a little bit of variety in breakfast, but generally myself, I'll do 1 or 2 breakfasts from here all week long and just do the same thing to keep it easy. Lunches or leftovers. So I kind of covered all this in day 1, so I won't do too much. So yeah, first of all, if you don't have a meal plan, start with that. And I'll also mention prep too, if you don't really have a plan, some different ideas. Then day number 2 was your shopping list. So create your shopping list, categorize it. If you want it all done for you in the membership, we have that all done. It's all categorized. What else did I want to say about that? So yeah, if you missed day 2, we cover that and some different tips on shopping. So then here's our recipes. So I'm going to scroll to the prep guide. So I'll show you this, and then I'll show you what I do on a weekly basis for meal prep, and on a daily basis too. I'll do a little bit of prep. So you can see this here. So this guides you through, even if you're not in the membership, this will kind of help you with give you some tips. So you grocery shop, you freeze some things, you put some things in the fridge. So this is generally how I like to structure it. Sunday, so say I'm getting groceries Sunday. Generally, we get groceries Monday or Tuesday because my husband works shift work. We're not 9 to 5 working. We have kind of a flexible schedule. So we kind of avoid the grocery stores on Saturdays and Sundays. So whatever day you go, so this will be our Monday. So Monday we would get groceries, and then I would spend a little bit of time. So that would be my bigger day of prep. But even then, it's only like half an hour to an hour generally. So I would look at my meal plan. I have vanilla chia pudding on some breakfasts, and that can be made ahead. It can be stored in the fridge for close to probably like 4 or 5 days at least. Usually I finish it off before then. Vanilla chia pudding takes about like 5 minutes to make. I was going to make that on camera for you, but I don't think I will. I think I'll keep this video a little bit quicker. All it is chia seeds, coconut milk or almond milk, and maybe a little bit of sweetness, whatever you want for that, maple syrup or a bit of stevia if you want to keep it sugar-free. And then you just mix that up, you put it in the fridge. After a couple of hours, it kind of gels up like a pudding. And then the next morning you can put berries with it, or maybe thaw out to keep it cheap, thaw out frozen berries and have that with it. And that's a really nice high protein, high fat breakfast to get you going, and it's tasty too. So I would, that same day that I got groceries, or if I got groceries on Sunday and then I was going to do some prep on Monday, sometimes I do that as well. So I'll spend anywhere, usually around an hour. So I do chia pudding here. So if we're going to make our BLT salads, or if you're short on time, just boil eggs and cook bacon. So on a day like this, I would get the oven turned on and I would put in an entire pack of bacon on a cookie sheet. This is my favorite way to cook bacon. Put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, put all your bacon on there, and it all cooks up nice and evenly. And even if you're not having that much bacon right away, then you just freeze it. So I'm going to show you that as well. And so you have that ready to go for a quick salad during the week. And then you'd wash lettuce. So prepare sea salt and garlic crackers. So that's another thing that I would prepare. So that chia pudding we would have done. I'd have bacon on the go. Here I would do the sea salt and garlic crackers. Those are super quick as well. You just throw everything. There's probably about 5 ingredients. Put that in a bowl, stir it up, and then you just put it on a cookie sheet to bake. So you've got a few different things going at the same time. Make spicy cashews. Those are quick and simple too. And those I would maybe even just make the evening of, unless I wanted to do, if I had extra time on that meal prep day. So, and then here is the rest of it. You just kind of prep, like the suppers, you do that evening. Sometimes we have leftovers for the next night for suppers. Sometimes we cook up extra beef. I don't know if I have that in here. So I think it's this week or the next week. This week, I would cook up extra beef so that I had the beef all ready to go for the soup that I'm making for the next day. So there's little tips and tricks. So you know what? I'm going to put this in the holder, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about, let's see if I can turn. I'm just going to talk a little bit about exactly what I do now. So I just wanted to give you a look at that meal plan, and then I'm going to get Instagram going. Okay, I think that's a good angle. So if you guys are on, say hi. Let me know if you've got the meal plan or if you're going to try it out. Okay. Go live on there. Whoops. Hi, Instagram. So it looks like we have got Instagram going. We're a little bit crooked. So this is going to be a quicker one. I'm just going to go through the basic things that I find really help to stay on track with meal prep without having to spend hours. So I do have, like I said on Facebook earlier, depending on what works for you, if you want to spend more time, I'm just going to fix this mop. If you want to spend more time on a Sunday or whatever day that is, and have everything pretty much ready to go for yourself for the week for meals, especially if you got a busy week, if you got kids in sports, I maybe would do that. With our lifestyle right now, our days are kind of all the same. So I do a little bit of prep on the one day, and then throughout the week and maybe every couple days, every day I'll spend a little bit of time doing some things, preparing some things. But some days are pretty lazy. You don't really have to do that much. It's kind of all done for you. So, but there are some times when you're busy where you want to spend 3 hours and have every single thing ready for you. I love those Pinterest images or Facebook images where it's like all of the dishes for a week, all your lunches, all your suppers. So that's kind of fun sometimes, having that feeling of having everything ready. So in the membership, we do have a couple of meal prep programs where you spend about 3 hours. I've done 3 different weeks of them, and they're all around the 2.5, 3 hour mark. So sometimes I like to do that, but for the most part, I'll show you what I do for the most part. So I don't really have the angle real great, but I'll just show you. So I always do a tray of raw veggies. So this is so important. So this lasts us, sometimes my kids love these, and I think they've gotten used to this. So if your kids don't love vegetables, they don't love raw veggies, maybe try, if you continue with this, if it's always there and as an option, if they're exposed to it a lot, then they might start to enjoy it more. So yeah, I always have these ready. If we go through this within 2 days, then I replenish it. Usually they'll stay somewhat fresh for 3 days, 4 days. It's starting to get a little bit not real fresh. So this is always in the fridge, a tray of raw veggies. And my kids love cucumbers. They also like carrots. Those are their favorites. So I try to make sure we have that in there. And then I try to add in some other things. They don't mind peppers. I don't think they didn't always love peppers, but like different peppers, celery, things like that. You could put in some cauliflower, broccoli. I can't think of what else right now, but if there's stuff that they don't really love, you can put that in there too, and they might be tempted to try it after a little while. So for myself, this is easy snacks if I want to have it with guacamole or hummus. It's also easy if I've got like a soup dish and it calls for carrots and celery, peppers. If I already have it washed and somewhat chopped, it's so easy. I just bring this out, cutting board, and it's a lot quicker than having to like peel and chop and all that. So I'm more likely to stick with my meal plan if it's a little bit easier. So that's the top thing. This is what we always have. So I will, if this is running low, actually, first of all, I'll say that I only spend time in the kitchen preparing food once a day at the most, usually. So like usually that's at supper time. Even if we're having some leftovers, I'll look and if I need to make more salad or make raw veggies, I'll replenish that. But otherwise, I don't really, in the morning at breakfast, I don't really spend time preparing food. We've already got stuff ready to go in the fridge. Lunchtime, it's just leftovers. It's what's in the fridge. So I'll move on to this is another thing. Salads, or at least having lettuce washed and cut. So I also have, so when we get groceries, you have your lettuce, whatever greens you have, kale or spinach. Spinach I prefer to buy already washed, so then that makes it a step easier. But so when you bring home your lettuce, if it's unwashed, it's in the fridge, and it's lunchtime and you're busy, you're a lot less likely to make a salad when nothing is washed. So we would at least wash it and keep it in here, and sometimes we just store it in here in the fridge, washed and chopped, so then that makes it easier. You can make up a quick lunch. And then sometimes I will, especially if we're having a salad at supper, I always make an extra salad in smaller containers for, or even just a big salad for lunches or even supper the next day. So tonight, if I want to have this for supper, if I want to have this for lunch today, I'm going to show you some proteins that I've already got prepared. So these are the top two things to eat clean. If you want to get more vegetables in, have these ready to go in your fridge at all times. So if you don't do anything else, do that and that'll really help. This is my bacon. I think we've got a couple. I've got one in the fridge and one in the freezer. So I cook it up on, sometimes I'll do this on my meal prep day, say that's Sunday. Then I'll turn the oven on and have a few things ready to go. Sometimes that'll be if I have a supper recipe that calls for bacon, then I'll do that. And I always do the entire thing. Like chicken, I always do a whole bunch of chicken. If I do beef, a whole bunch of beef, and then cool it and then save it for another time. If you're cooking it anyways, you might as well do a whole bunch. So now I've got bacon in the fridge for this week on our meal plan. We've got BLT salad bowls for lunches. I'm not sure if I have bacon. I do have egg muffins in there too. So this would be, if I wanted to add bacon to that, that's so easy. If I wanted to add peppers to that, that's easy too. It's already washed. I just have to chop it up. So being prepared with things like that. Another thing is chicken. So I think this was late last week, at the end of the week. Actually, just after my husband picked up some groceries, we got a big tray of chicken breasts. So I baked it all up, just like everything else, like the chicken or like the bacon. I bake it all up on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, maybe throw some spices on it, and then let it cool. And then I chop it and put it in freezer bags. If you put it in freezer bags and kind of lay it out flat, then it's not all stuck together in a big clump. So if I wanted to have, if I had busy and I just wasn't sure what to make for lunch, I wanted to have a salad, I've got this ready to go. I can just warm up this chicken, throw it in there, throw whatever else in. If I want to throw in some olives or other healthy fats, maybe some nuts and seeds, then that's a healthy lunch and it takes me like 5 minutes. So like I said before, most of my meal prep or most of my meals during the day are just like 5 minutes throwing stuff together, except for sometimes at supper, I'll spend a little bit more time making the actual meal. This, I just brought out of the freezer, you can't even see what it is, but this was when we just got groceries, we got ground beef. So I cooked it all up. And this it's a little bit of a clump, but it still will thaw pretty good. And if I wanted to just take some of it out, I could do that and take some out. This makes it so much easier. So we have this week we've got a minestrone soup, a beef and bean minestrone soup. Lots of vegetables in there. So instead of spending extra time, an extra mess in the kitchen to like brown the beef and then do the soup, all I have to do is throw this in. I think it's actually a slow cooker soup as well. Maybe it's not, but I'm not too sure. So I would just throw the beef in, it's already cooked, throw the vegetables in and just let it simmer in the pot with the broth. And we're good to go. And then beans is another one. So you can save time and just get the canned beans. That's a lot easier. If you want to save some money, maybe not use the cans if you're avoiding cans a little bit, like the aluminum in the cans and the BPA, then I would buy the bag of beans. So these are black beans, and I believe this goes in 1 or 2 of the recipes this week as well. This is another idea. If you're doing beans, you can even soak it. So it's more digestible this way. If you soak, it's better digested. Beans can be tough. If you soak it for a while and then you boil it, you can even use an Instant Pot and it's really quick. So if you cook the beans on your own, do a big bag of dried beans, let it cool and then put it in freezer bags. So then I also use this for bean brownies. So then that's ready to go as well. So the moral of the story is actually number 1, have raw veggies always ready and cut. It's a lot easier. Have either just greens washed and chopped or have an entire salad. You could do like a big bowl of salad and always have that ready in the fridge. Number 3 is your meat that you do to save time. Do a whole bunch of it, cool it, and either keep it in the fridge if you're having it like the next day or freeze it. And then let's see what I have for chicken dishes this week. And then it makes it just so much easier. So for the beef, That'll be the minestrone soup. The beef is already cooked, so that makes it a lot quicker. We're doing classic tacos this week, so taco night. I just have to warm this beef up and then that's ready. Like that's gonna be such a quick supper. I've got some veggies already chopped for the kids. I've got lettuce already chopped, so taco night's gonna be super easy. Buddha bowl is a lot easier when you already have vegetables chopped up and lettuce chopped. Yeah, we do have one night where there's chicken. So I could either do this, bake the chicken that night, or I can use this. I've got loaded baked potato and chicken breast. So I would, if I'm not in a rush, I might actually just cook some fresh chicken breasts in the oven. Otherwise, I'll use this and then it's a quicker meal. Zucchini bolognese, I think that's how you say it. So then this would be easy for that. That's this week. So again, if you're just joining on, if you want the free meal plan that I'm talking about right now, you can grab that. I wanted to give you that to you guys for free this week, just kind of help you out with this Back on Track series. So I don't think I put the link in the description yet. I'll put that in the comments right after. And if you've missed day 1 and day 2, it's in there as well. If you missed those, go to the Facebook page and you can catch up on those. So I think those are the main things. So yeah, so for this week, I am doing, I think I wrote down some of our, I don't know if you can see it there, but raw veggies is what I made sure I had done for my meal prep. Salad or even just greens chopped up. I pre-cooked my beef, making seed crackers. So I'm just about to do that. Thought I would do that on camera, but it will just take too much time. So seed crackers, so they're sea salt and garlic crackers, so easy. Whole Foods, it uses chia seeds, good natural chia seeds, sunflower seeds, and some spices, and that's mainly it. Maybe some other seeds in there, and so a little bit of almond flour, but it takes about 5 minutes to prep, and then you bake it. The chia pudding is really quick, like I mentioned before, if you were on at the start. That's a few minutes, and then that's ready to go. So when you're busy during the day or in the evening, it's nice that you can look in the fridge. You've got salad, you've got veggies, maybe you have that soup all ready to go. You've got chicken, beef, you've got protein already cooked. Once a week I'll do like some sort of, so this week is the seed crackers and chia pudding. Sometimes I'll do like a healthy muffin. So I try to pick, make sure I do at least like one snack that I'm preparing ahead of time, whether that's like a healthier cookie, like a paleo muffin, seed crackers, maybe like a homemade Larabar. Another thing I should mention too, if you guys have followed me, you probably know I love the peanut butter protein bars. So I pretty much always have those in the freezer. They don't really go bad in the freezer. So that's another thing that I prepare every week. I make sure I always have that on hand. So it's a lot easier to stick with eating more whole foods if you're prepared. If you're not prepared, if you don't do any meal prep, then it's really tough. So that's a big thing. Meal planning and meal prepping are two of the biggest things. So I think that's about all I wanted to cover today. I think I covered everything. So yeah, do what works best for you. Whether that's a lot more prep in one day or whether that's just making sure you have raw veggies ready, maybe some lettuce ready, maybe a couple snacks ready to go. So, but I think that's about it. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say. I always feel like that at the end, but I think that's about it. So I'll stop because otherwise I end up rambling. Grab the free meal plan if you haven't grabbed it already. Actually, I'll just mention too, Friday we've got our webinar or live class, whatever you want to call it. It's about an hour long, and I dive into my story, the journey that I went on. My battery's running low. The journey that I went on, what helped me, what's helped a lot of other moms. I go through the exact sort of like protocol that I went through. I dive into what's actually going on in your body to make you feel exhausted, to cause those cravings. We dive deep into that. We also have some giveaways going live on Friday, and fast action bonuses. If you're thinking about the Mama Recharge method that's coming up on January 21st, we've got fast action bonuses that are on just during that webinar. So if you're interested in that, if you want to know a little bit more about that, I'll give you a bit of a tour there. But if you're thinking about it, grab the fast action bonuses in there. What else is there? I don't have it in front of me. A free gift just for watching as well. So that's Friday. I'll put the link in the description right after this, or the link in my bio, to sign up for that. Friday at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Friday. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you are finding this helpful so far. Also check back tomorrow at 10. I've got another video coming to you. It's part 4 of this series, and that's on different hacks that I've found to be helpful in health eating. So just some different little tips that help, especially if you've got picky eaters, tips on that. So I think that's about it. I will say bye now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully Friday as well.